Howdy there, partner. Settle up for a rootin' tootin' tech roundup with Cowboy Coder. Today we're rustling up the top 10 least efficient applications. These apps are so slow they make a tortoise look like a jackrabbit on a caffeine spree. So grab your digital lasso, because we're going to rope them in and show them who's the real sheriff here in this digital town. Yeehaw! Number 10, Microsoft Teams. At number 10, it's Microsoft Teams. As cluttered as a hoarder's dream on steroids. Finding a message? It's like digging for water in the desert with a spoon. Updates ambush like bandits in a midnight raid, and it crashes like a rookie cowboy on his first bull ride. The app's as unpredictable as a rattlesnake in a sleeping bag. You never know when it's going to strike. Wrestling with Teams? It's like taming a wild bronco that's got a taste for line dancing. So remember, when dealing with Microsoft Teams, it's like trying to catch lightning in a bottle. But most times you'll end up with a storm on your hands. As it has been said in a book we all have by our nightstands on these wild El Paso stormy nights, in the midst of life we are in death. But I'm about ready to kill my laptop whenever I have to use this consarn program. Number 9, Adobe Acrobat Reader. Opening a PDF feels like you're trekking through quicksand. Those updates, they're as elusive as a mirage in the desert. Crashes happen so often it feels like you're in a rodeo, getting thrown off every other second. Each click's a gamble, like trying to predict the weather in Texas. And when it finally works, it's like finding water in the desert, only to realize it's a mirage. Or, as Andre Gide once said, it is better to be hated for what you are than to be loved for what you are not. And I love to hate Acrobat Reader. I'm not sorry. Yeehaw! In 8th place, we have iTunes. Syncing devices? It's like trying to decode a secret message from a bandit. The interface is more cluttered than a saloon after a bar fight during a happy hour. Updates sneak up like a coyote in the night. Managing playlists is like a one-legged cowboy in a kicking contest against a kangaroo. And when it crashes, it's as welcome as a rattlesnake in your bedroll. Navigating iTunes is like trying to ride a horse that's also trying to buck you into next week. As Gerald Ford once said, there's no Soviet domination of Eastern Europe. Similarly, there is no Apple domination of the music business. Outside of hardware, Apple's involvement in the music streaming services race has surely ended because no one wants to pay for their services. Number 7, Skype. Lucky number 7 brings us Skype. Its call quality changes more than the moods of a love-struck cowboy. The interface is like reading a map through a dust storm while riding a bucking bronco. Connecting calls, it's like sending smoke signals in a hurricane. Chaotic and mostly futile. When it crashes, using Skype is like trying to have a quiet conversation in the middle of a cattle stampede during tornado season. As Bob Dylan once said, you don't need a weatherman to know which way the wind blows. And Skype definitely blows as an application. Number 6, Facebook. At 6, it's Facebook. The digital version of a crowded saloon where everyone's talking but no one's listening. The newsfeed refreshes like a wild bronco on a caffeine high. Privacy settings are more complicated than explaining quantum physics to a horse. Ads pop up with the persistence of a nosy neighbor. Trying to navigate Facebook? It's like playing pin the tail on the donkey, blindfolded after spinning around 10 times. It's a whirlwind of confusion, like trying to lasso a twister. And don't get me started on Zuckerberg's complicity in the 2016 elections and the death of American democracy. Boy, howdy. Number 5, Snapchat. Features disappear faster than a gambler's luck at a rigged blackjack table. The interface changes more than a cowboy's sock on a month-long cattle drive. Drains your battery like a horse drinking from an oasis after a week in the desert. Using Snapchat is like trying to lasso shooting stars while riding a unicycle. It's a wild, wobbly, and whimsical experience. Or as Robert Frost once said, in 3 words I can sum up everything I've learned about life. It goes on. Something Snapchat obviously won't. Take that, Evan. In at 4, LinkedIn, the digital version of a networking event where everyone's selling something but no one's buying. Notifications fire like a 6-shooter in a showdown. Endorsements, as shallow as a puddle in the desert. The user interface is as cluttered as a cowboy saddlebag after a month on the trail. Trying to navigate LinkedIn is like trying to herd cats during a thunderstorm. It's loud, chaotic, and you end up chasing your tail more than anything else. I think it was KRS-One who said, you must learn, and you must learn to navigate LinkedIn if you want to survive in this cutthroat corporate economy. Yeehaw! Number 3, we've got Zoom. Connections drop faster than a cowboy's hat in a windstorm. Video quality goes from crystal clear to ghost town fog at the drop of a hat. Audio issues? You'd have clearer conversations with a howling coyote. Trying to have a smooth meeting on Zoom is like trying to keep your campfire lit in a hurricane, a frustrating battle against the elements. As Gabriel Garcia Marquez once said, humanity, like armies in the field, advances at the speed of the slowest. In the realm of Zoom, it's as if we've entered a world of digital magical realism, where the unpredictable forces of technology create surreal experiences, much like the whimsical and often fantastical narratives found in the works of 20th century Colombian novelists. Number 2, Internet Explorer. Second to last, it's Internet Explorer. Like a horse-drawn carriage in a world of hyperloops, it's so slow you could beat it in a race walking backwards. Crashes more often than a clumsy cowboy at his first rodeo. Compatibility issues tangled like a lasso after a bad throw. Using Internet Explorer feels like sending a telegram in an age of instant messaging. Outdated, slow, and ineffective. In the words of Oscar Wilde, to live is the rarest thing in the world. Most people exist. That is all. Much like this outdated browser, it's a reminder that life's vibrancy lies in embracing change and moving forward. Number 1, Candy Crush. Topping our list, Candy Crush. It's the digital equivalent of a gold rush, but all you find is fool's gold. In-app purchases ambush you like bandits in a ghost town. Levels tougher than a game of poker with a cheating outlaw. It reels you in with sweet promises, then leaves you with a sour taste like a whiskey gone bad. Chasing high scores in Candy Crush is like chasing a mirage, captivating, but ultimately just an illusion. Maybe this was what old Edgar Allan Poe was thinking when he wrote El Dorado. All that glitters isn't gold. Partners, we've lassoed our way through the digital badlands and wrangled up the least efficient apps in the tech west. Speaking of wrangling, ever tried timing a project perfectly? It's like trying to cook a steak over a campfire in a rainstorm. Just when you think you've got it, nature throws you a curveball. But fear not. Here's a tune for all you cowboys and cowgirls out there working on that infinite time project. May your code compile smooth and your deadlines be as forgiving as a sleepy sheriff. Here's my song, Infinite Time, a melody for all you digital drifters dreaming of perfect timing. Walking through these halls of memories, a lifetime of documentaries. I see us strolling hand in hand until you went to that faraway land. I see myself chasing this endless dream for something unexpected in a carnival theme. Even if only for a moment in time, I knew you and you were mine. It's infinite time.
When you find that perfect one, it's not too long and it's never done.
It's infinite time. But she knows all about infinity, not a lie that in the infinite time.
When you find that perfect one, it's not too long and it's never done.
It's infinite time. So she knows all about infinity, not a lie that in the vicinity.
When I learned you found someone new, it broke my heart and it snapped in two. I know the timing wasn't right when you put all the things out into the light. And every time I think of you, I'm feeling like I never should, it's true. But in time you will come to know a schedule laid out on the sky so low, so low. When you find that perfect one, it's not too long and it's never done.
It's infinite time. So she knows all about infinity, not a lie that in the infinite time.
When you find that perfect one, it's not too long and it's never done.
It's infinite time. So she knows all about infinity, not a lie that in the vicinity. And when you think you're flying out into infinity, it may not be a lie, but it's in the vicinity. So when you think you're flying out into infinity, it may not be a lie, but it's in the vicinity. And when you think you're flying out into infinity, it may not be a lie, but it's in the vicinity. So when you think you're flying out into infinity, it may not be a lie, but it's in the vicinity.
And when I thought things were okay, just when I thought we'd make it to this day, just remember all the things we had. It was more than a memory, more than a fad. And when I thought things were okay, just when I thought we'd make it to this day, just remember all the things we had. It was more than a memory, more than a fad.
It's infinite time.
When you find that perfect one, it's not too long and it's never done.
It's infinite time. So she knows all about infinity, not a lie that in the vicinity. It's infinite time.
When you find that perfect one, it's not too long and it's never done.
It's infinite time. So she knows all about infinity, not a lie that in the vicinity. It's infinite time. It's infinite time. It's infinite time.
Infinite time.